The NBA has handed out their suspensions due to a fight against the Detroit Pistons and Orlando Magic. We're going to talk about all that and more right after this.
The number one place for your daily basketball fix, NBA Central. Hosted by the one and only CEO Haize.
All right, so the aftermath has finally come down now after Wednesday's brawl between the Orlando Magic and Detroit Pistons. And so in this, we have a bunch of players that are going to be serving suspensions, only 2 on the Detroit Pistons. But the Orlando Magic have so many suspensions handed out that they're actually going to stagger the suspension so that the Orlando Magic have enough players available to play games. So it was announced late yesterday that Killian, Haize, and Diallo of the Detroit Pistons were suspended 3 games for Haize and 1 game for Diallo for their fight in which Killian Haize punched Mo Wagner and basically made him go unconscious for a second. That, I think that is fair when you look at just what happened. I honestly kind of expected even more severity for Killian Haize, considering he punched somebody in the back of their head. But, you know, shout out to Detroit and just their ability to keep fans from getting involved. It was just wild how quickly they reacted to that. But more suspensions handed out for the Orlando Magic in Cole Anthony, Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter, RJ Hampton, Gary Harris, Kevon Harris, Franz Wagner, Admiral Schofield were all suspended 1 game. Now, they are going to stagger those suspensions so that the Orlando Magic do have enough players to play in games. But wow, this brawl, just how it came down and how it went after a technical foul. And it was crazy. You don't see very much of this in the NBA. If you watch a lot of games in the NBA, you do see teams get a little bit shovey at times with themselves, getting in each other's faces, but it really doesn't turn into this in a league where most players don't want to fight. The fact that we had fists thrown, it's kind of wild, but at the end of the day, it kind of is what it is. The suspensions for the Detroit Pistons players will start today as they play the Chicago Bulls. And Wagner's also will start today as well as they face the Washington Wizards. Now, with all the other players, they're going to stagger those over the next set of games and have a schedule when those players are going to miss their games, as I said, so they can. But that's just, it's wild. This is a situation that everybody has kind of seen and talked about and everything already. Hey, tensions fly in the NBA, and that's really what it boils down to. While this has not been, it's not as bad as some of the other fights that have happened, and it definitely wasn't anywhere close to the Malice at the Palace, which I don't think we'll ever see anything like that quite again. But it is what it is. Do you guys agree with the suspensions that the NBA handed out? Did you think, like me, that Killian Haize was going to get a more severe suspension on top of everything else? Let me know all that down below. And thank you for tuning in to this quick update on NBA Central.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.